Hello, my name is Rob, and today I would like to talk about an environmental registry item, proposed amendments to development permit exemptions under OOO 1990 Regulation 828 for lands in the Niagara Escarpment planning area that is under the area for development control. This is a item on the environmental registry that comments will due today or on the 17th of June, which will allow a lot more development. And I'm just going to... I'll have to get the document back up. So this is the focus of today. It has the number 019-8364, and it's dealing with the Niagara Escarpment Planning and Development Act. They're proposing to amend Regulation 828 to clarify exemptions for developments that would be considered consistent with the purpose and objectives of the Niagara Escarpment Plan. And it's talking about circumstances where a development permit may not be required. They're adding new exemptions, such as an accessory structural construction or placement of temporary or permanent structural accessory to a dwelling, installation of a private sewage disposal system accessory to a dwelling. And these might have negative environmental implications, depending on where they're placed, especially a private sewage disposal system. It might change drainage. And the Niagara Escarpment area is an area of environmental significance. Agricultural activities, the installation of a foam entrance to an agricultural property from a road, and then no minimum agricultural lot size to convert structures from one type of farming use to another. So potentially more farming, more destructive farming practices could occur. Construction of a structural accessory to agricultural development other than dwelling. Installation of single permanent foam produce structure to sell local products. Business activities. The establishment and operation of certain home occupation or home industry activities. Doesn't say what those all, and special events that would not change land use. They mentioned trails, but trails are already included in the regulations. And then there's some other things as well. They say the regulatory impacts. Sorry, I have a bit of a cough. They say that they'll consider to have neutral to positive impact on business. And then they say that it's maintaining the production of escarpment. This is the government. But there's debate about that. Let's see. So this is a lot from a group called Climate Action New Market Aurora, which is opposed to this proposal and submitted in May. And then they talk about the background of the Niagara Escarpment, that it's a UNESCO World Biosphere, a natural landform. We're saying that there would be impacts to the level of oversight by the Niagara Escarpment Commission. Niagara Escarpment Commission. Yeah, Niagara Escarpment Commission. And then they talk about how the Talisman development could be developed, and they're saying that it's a backdoor approach to develop the Greenbelt because it sets a precedent. Talks about Bill 185 and the problems that it had regarding appeals to land tribunals. Talks about the Get It Done Act. I believe I talked about that, and how more agricultural and green space would be able to be taken. And then there was mention of how much farmland is lost annually. 116,478 acres. And 319 acres a day is lost in Ontario. And then they have some references. And I wanted to mention trails. Trails are already exempted. I have to go back to... So in Section 5 of Regulation 828, Development Within Development Control Area under the Niagara Escarpment Planning and Development Act. So go to Section 5. The following classes of development, if listed as permitted uses under the land use policies established in the Niagara Escarpment Plan, not in conflict with the development permit issued under the Act, or exempt from the requirement of obtaining a permit. And as you see from the proposal, trails were specifically mentioned. The Act says, for maintenance of existing recreational trails, and the maintenance of lands, buildings, and structures under the jurisdiction of a conservation authority, the establishment of hiking or cross-country ski trails, and erections of signs for the purpose of property identification or interpretive or recreational information on lands owned by a conservation authority. So those are two areas that the regulations are like unnecessary. The proposals. Let's see. And this is all related to Bill 185. And then there's the Escarpment Corridor Alliance. And I think this bill passed, Cutting Red Tape to Build More Homes Act. I don't see the specific. There's concern. I don't see the specific mention of this proposal, but there was concern that the natural environment would be negatively impacted. And then they're asking this is a list of what they're asking for. The concerns. So they're concerned about changes to settlement area boundaries, which currently limit urban sprawl. The ability for developers to appeal to land tribunal rulings that restrict building on farmland, wetlands, or environmentally sensitive areas, while removing the ability for third parties to appeal such rulings that would allow the destruction of natural areas. Removal of Ontario's land tribunal's ability to review municipal decisions, including those that would limit urban sprawl. The removal of development planning authority from upper-tier regional bodies. The ability to expand municipal settlements at any time with no requirement for comprehensive review. Lack of explicit protections to preserve natural areas across the province. And then there was the Niagara Escarpment Foundation. And there's a CBC article by Mike Qualley. It's called Planned Housing Project. Planned Housing Project threatens Niagara Escarpment opponents. And the article says that the proposal opens the door to development across much of the protected Niagara Escarpment. This proposal under the environmental registry seems to make it easier for development to call. At least in agricultural areas, they say that the area that was developed that is proposed to be developed for residential was already allowed without this. Um, these proposals seem to make some development that much easier. There's an Stephen Griggs, chair of the Escarpment Corridor Alliance, says that the approval of the development project would boost the likelihood of developers building housing on other escarpment properties with the same status as the talisman land. And they say the whole of the Niagara escarpment would be destroyed forever. And there was a ski resort that hasn't been operated since 2011. And the development is twice the size that the Premier Ford government opened up for development before scrapping the plan in the face of opposition. There was a conservation group that wanted to buy it, but a developer bought the property even though the offer was less by $275,000. The developer paid less, offered less, and got the property than a conservatory. So this isn't like directly related to the proposal in the environmental registry, but they do play into each other. Let's see. So I don't think that the inclusion of like trails, which is a good thing, in my opinion. Well, not necessarily, because sometimes trails they do cause environmental damage. So I do think that there should be a development application for a trail system. But restoration activities, they might be okay. There's some things that do make sense not to have a development permit, but trails were already excluded from exempted from having a development permit. Having a road to a farm will make it easier for developments to occur. Lot addition or lot line adjustment on existing lots outside of prime agricultural areas. That is probably what people are concerned about, because people can make a housing development after making a lot addition, potentially. Um, and then those they're allowing outdoor swimming pool, spa, or hot tub, and single outdoor sports clubs, um, which is consuming in a could be consuming in an environmentally sensitive area and attract more housing development. Um, but this is like a bunch of things connected to our proposals to expand um, onto environmentally sensitive areas through the guise of housing development. This isn't a standalone notice, and yeah, this was due today, so I just wanted to share it. It's due soon. I wanted you to consider some of the what people are talking about, and I will I will be making more content about what's happening in the environmental industry, looking at environmental notices more in depth, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day.